Does anyone else just not understand this Chicago Bulls team? I mean, they got out and had two of the best defensive games of their season against a team that they literally just got crushed by, and then had a solid outing and defensive outing, particularly against a team like the Boston Celtics, where the Bulls held Jason Tatum to 12 points, shooting 3 for 17. To this, you get absolutely blown out by a tanking Cavs team, a team that is last in the league on offense. You gave up 121 points. And then the final score didn't do it justice. The Bulls got worked virtually this entire game. And man, I was going to have my giveaway score prediction for this game. It's a good thing I didn't, because no one would have predicted the Bulls would have completely fallen off like that after the last game that they just had. And this is the thing I just cannot understand about this Bulls team. And guys, I'm not just talking about this season, and this has really been the case since Tom Thibodeau's final season with the Bulls. As a Bulls fan, for literally the past 6 seasons, you have seen the most inconsistent professional sports team ever. What's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bulls Central here. I know you're not doing well. I'm not doing well. I don't even know what to expect of this team anymore. I really don't. They could lose the rest of the games of this season, and then they could win the rest of the games for this season, and I wouldn't be shocked either way. Look, I know the Bulls were without Zach Lavine and Troy Brown Jr., but there's no excuse for them to lose in the way that they did tonight against one of the worst teams in the league. There just isn't, especially not after you just beat this team last Saturday and had one of your best games of the season against Boston. This is a game you have to win. I mean, take a look at the rest of the schedule down the stretch. It is not going to get any easier. In fact, most of the remaining games for the Bulls are against teams above 500. This was your chance to get an easy win. And not only did the Bulls lose in at least a close and competitive game, but they were absolutely destroyed. Unacceptable. And sorry guys, I know I'm ranting, but let's be real, this is a rant video more than just my standard post-game video. So not sure if you guys saw this, but Billy Donovan actually canceled practice yesterday on their day off, and clearly that was a mistake given the team came out so lethargic, not engaged, they couldn't hit their shots. It was like watching the JV team play varsity in high school. They looked lost on both ends of the floor. Nobody played well tonight, really nobody. I mean, Markkanen had an okay game. He had 16 points, he shot decently well. Thaddeus Young had a decent stat line, but even, he has just looked off recently. I mean, I look at the rest of this box score, and there are no standouts or nothing that you can really take positively from this game. 19 turnovers. If I remember correctly, the Bulls had 8 turnovers in the first quarter alone. I mean, that first quarter is really what set the tone. When you get outscored 34 to freaking 12 points, yeah, you're probably not going to win this game. I know the Bulls have come back, after being down 22 points. They've had deficits this season. They've been able to bounce back from that, but not when you come out the way they did. Completely unmotivated, unengaged, and no desire to play with effort. I'll admit, I did have high hopes that the Bulls would come out to start the second half strong and at least make the game somewhat competitive, because we have seen the Bulls play great in the third quarter, and that's how they've come back in some of these games that when they found themselves a hole in this season. And, they even actually made a little bit of the run at the end of the second quarter to at least bring it below a 20-point lead. But no, the third quarter starts, and it was essentially the same thing that we saw from the tip-off. And yes, the Bulls made a little run in the fourth quarter where there was a possibility they could slightly come back, but that quickly faded after the Cavs took a timeout and they regrouped and never looked back after. And to make matters worse, the Raptors beat the Nets tonight, the Pacers narrowly beat the Thunder, and then even the Wizards, who were down towards the end of the game, they managed to come back and beat the Warriors. But still, I think it's getting more and more doubtful this Bulls team will even be able to make it in the play-in at this rate, because of how consistent they have been playing. You're not going to close out the season strong when you can't come out and compete on a nightly basis. Like I said from the beginning of the season when I first started this channel, the thing I want to see the most from this team over everything is consistent energy and effort, and giving it 100% on the floor for the whole 48 minutes, even if it's in a losing effort. Just compete at the highest level possible. Make it at least fun and engaging for the fans. Play like you actually care about the game. Bulls fans have been through this for too long. If you have guys who don't want to be here, who don't care to put in effort on a nightly basis, then find someone else who will actually want to play for this team and bring it back to the historic franchise that it once was. And guys, like I said, I know we didn't have Zach Lavine. He's our best player, and obviously the team is going to struggle without him. But come on. Are you not capable of at least playing a little bit harder, staying competitive, and beating a lousy team like the Cleveland Cavaliers? You shouldn't need Zach Lavine to win that game. So I really don't know where the Bulls go from here. I really don't. At this point, you have to hope that you get lucky in the lottery since our pick is top 4 protected, and then you have to hope that this front office makes the necessary changes and adjustments to actually get this team to care about winning basketball games and playing with a passion to be ultra competitors. I don't know, maybe I just got too spoiled with the Noah and Rose years back in the early 2010s. I just can't stand seeing my team with guys who aren't passionate about the game, and I think we're all just getting tired of being the laughingstock of the NBA, because even the Knicks, the ultimate laughingstock of the NBA, have actually been playing decent now. And I know this is all a bit reactionary, I know. And I know the win against the Celtics and the hype that came after that game, it was reactionary too. And I'm sure things will trend upward for the Bulls going into next season. But to see the guys come out and play like this, after the game we just saw, like I said, I just do not understand this team at all. It's like when you're first dating someone and they're trying to play mind games with you. Things are always hot and cold and you never know what to expect or where you stand. I just want the Bulls to commit to winning. Show us some love. Play your heart out for the city of Chicago. Anyway, that's all I've got. The Bulls are right back at it tomorrow. They're back at the United Center to take on the Hornets, and I honestly have no idea what to expect in terms of the outcome for this game. Who knows? The Bulls might end up winning by 40 points. Stop playing games with us, Bulls. Anyway, guys, drop a like. I hardly request that. That'll make my night a little bit better for me. And be sure to subscribe if you're somehow still a Bulls fan after this game. I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.